So hello again, my name is Brent Smith and I'm the Common Constitutionalist, and this is the Common Constitutionalist Weekend Video Podcast. Yay team. It's actually a pretty decent day out. It's kind of overcast, which makes it better for the video anyway, so I don't have to fight the sun squinting and whatever, dark spots, light spots, whatever. You'll notice that I'm seated. Normally I'm walking around during the preface of or the introduction of the video or audio podcast or video podcast. And I had a suggestion from a friend of mine who I trust and who's probably a lot smarter than is a lot smarter than I am, that neither him or his wife liked me walking around. They didn't like the herky-jerkiness of it and whatnot. So, heck with that. I'm just sitting. So today I've got three topics. The first is Trump is worse than Hitler. Trump is worse than Hitler. Hey, what a shocker. Second segment, the gay Federal Reserve. It's a fun time at the Common Constitutionalist podcast. And finally, the Feinstein hit piece that probably everybody's aware of. So that's what we're going to be discussing today on the Common Constitutionalist Weekend Video Podcast. Be right back. You're watching the Common Constitutionalist Weekend Video Podcast. So, welcome back. So the first is the first segment. Again, Trump is worse than Hitler. Who didn't know that? So this is from The Blaze. Republican strategist Mike Murphy apparently has taken a hard look at the murderous... It's just stranger than fiction. You can't make this stuff up, guys. At the murderous reign of Nazi dictator Adolf Hitler in the early 20th century and compared it with Donald Trump's time in office. This is Republican strategist Mike Murphy, not some Democrat hack. Yeah, Republican hack. It's so much different. It's so much different. Wow. And again they write that it seemed to imply that Trump, not Hitler, is the one he'd prefer to stop if he could go back in time. And apply, this is where I wish I had an Aunt Fanny, because apply Aunt Fanny, or apply my blank, my A. He didn't imply it, he just came out and said it. Chopper. Don't know. Hilo, they're coming to get me. Black helicopters, oh no. So anyway, well, you be the judge. How's that? This is the Blaze again. Murphy, who calls himself an infuriated GOP strategist, of course he is, on his Twitter profile, said during an MSNBC panel discussion Thursday that given a time machine at his fingertips, he's no longer worried about going back to listen to this crap. That he's no longer worried about going, this is a quote from Mike Murphy, the infuriated GOP strategist, that he's no longer worried about going back to Germany in the 30s. I'd go back and tell Fred Trump, Donald Trump's father, to be a lot nicer to your kid because he's a little damaged and we're dealing with it every day. Because we have this guy in the White House. That's what Mike Murphy, disgruntled and infuriated GOP they forgot to add establishment hack GOP strategist, Mike Murphy said about Donald Trump. First thing that should jump right off is the fact that he's on an MSNBC panel discussion. No conservative would ever be caught dead at MSNBC. He also said Trump suffers from insecurity, but that there's hope because people are beginning to realize we have the crazy uncle temporarily in office. Think about that just for a second, that we've got the crazy uncle temporarily in office. And that's because if you look back at his predecessors, they were also measured and poised and oh so presidential, don't you know? Now, I'll be the first one to agree that Trump's got his faults. There's no doubt about it. And we all have our faults, obviously. We don't want him playing out on national television every 30 seconds But you know, we've all got them, no doubt about it. I got more than most. I'll be the first to admit that, and so will everybody who knows me. I think he's petty at times, and he's vindictive at times. There's no doubt about that. At least, and this is my opinion of him, just watching him and whatnot. But the difference between, say, Trump and Obama is that Trump kind of wears it on his sleeve, or wears his attitude toward others, whatever, or towards situations and others. He wears it on his sleeve. He wears it as a badge of honor, whereas Obama tried to hide it, and every once in a while he would mistakenly let it slip out, like, you know, the clinging to the God, you know, the Bible and the guns and stuff like that. That stuff, I don't think he doesn't mean for it. He certainly doesn't mean for it to come out in public, and I don't know whether he means for it to say it, or whether he just, it's a slip of the lip and maybe he regrets it, or maybe it's dialed into whatever crowd he's talking to, just kind of like when he used to go to crowds that were predominantly black and Southern, his accent would miraculously change to a, you know, or to a Southern Baptist preacher or something like that, you know. And then it would go back to the Chicago style thug talk, whatever. But at any rate, that's the only difference, in my opinion, of Obama and Trump personality-wise, is the fact that Trump just wears it on his sleeve. He wears it as a badge of honor, and he kind of doesn't give a crap what he says. He definitely gives a crap of how people perceive him, but he doesn't give a crap. He just says stuff, and that's the way it is. But I see his biggest flaw, and I've seen this a number of times over the years that I've been in business. His biggest flaw, that he's a salesman, and he's a really good salesman. And one thing I know of almost every salesman I've ever met, or employed, or done business with, or whatever, every single one of these guys, it seems to me, has a craving. They need to be liked. It's not just a want. They need to be liked by everybody, okay? They need the acceptance of everybody. And that's Trump. Trump needs the acceptance of everyone, and if he doesn't get that acceptance, that's where the petty and vindictiveness come in. All that being said, I don't give a flying crap what he's like personally. I don't care what he tweets. I don't care anything. If his policies are constitutional and they're getting the job done, they're shrinking government, they're deregulating, they're doing what needs to be done to make America great again, so to speak, then I don't care what he does beyond that. I don't care. People compare him to Hitler. But this guy is just, he's just absolutely insane to say something as stupid and inflammatory as this. But where else would you do it than on MSNBC, where every other word out of their mouth is utter idiocy and inflammatory rhetoric? It's just ridiculous comparing Trump to Hitler. Well, and actually, Trump is worse than Hitler, because because this guy would leave Hitler alone but want to change Trump. I mean, honestly, really, that's ridiculous. So we're going to take a real quick break. Be right back for the gay fed. Homo fed, yeah. Be right back.
You're watching the Common Constitutionalist video podcast.
Yeah, baby! Yeah.
Okay, I'm back. Yeah, baby. I'm liking it. I like that segment. That was fun. Fun. That's a hot one. Man, I'm one warped individual if I think all this stuff is fun. I used to think Hannity was a lunatic when he said he loved this politics stuff. No matter how infuriating he said it got, it was always fun for him. It kind of is fun for me. I don't know why. I just really like this kind of stuff. I hate politics. I can't stand politics, but I don't know. And I'm not naive enough to think that I'm doing any good or I'm going to change anyone's mind, maybe, but it's just, you know, I got into this because people told me to stop bitching and start doing something about it. So that's what I did. So, wow, look at us. Aren't we so progressive and wonderful? Symbolism over substance once again rears its ugly head. And hopefully this segment will be pretty short, because I don't have a lot to say about this beyond the obvious, and you'll see that in a minute. This is from Zero Hedge. Since John Williams, he used to be head of the San Francisco Fed, since John Williams officially took the reins at the New York Federal Reserve in June, investors have been waiting for the central bank to announce his successor. Boy, yeah, we sure have, haven't we? With bated breath. Woohoo. And on Friday afternoon, that wait came to an end. The Fed announced, you gotta listen to this, the Fed announced that Director of Research Mary Daly will take over as the San Francisco Fed head, a seat once held by former chairwoman Janet Stop Your Yellen, making ready, here's the punchline, here's the progressive virtue signaling punchline, making Daly the first openly gay female president of one of the 12 district banks in Fed's 100-year history. Whoop-de-frickin' do. They continue. As the Fed pushes for more Why do I like this stuff again? It's so infuriating, it's ridiculous. Whatever. Maybe I just like bringing it to your attention. Maybe that's it, I don't know. Whatever. As they continue, as the Fed pushes for more diversity in its upper ranks, Daly will become one of only 3 women occupying a senior role. And of course the only homosexual female. Now this is me talking, not Zero Hedge. Now does this mean that she's the only homosexual or only gay female to have this office? Does that mean they already have a gay guy, a homosexual male? All right, so now they have a homosexual, sorry, and a lesbian. Is that good? I don't know why that's good. And should I care about this? I don't think I should care. I don't think I should give a flying crap one way or the other. Why would anyone care what this lady does in her personal life or what she does in the bedroom and with whom? Okay, with her pet porcupine. I don't know, man. Nor do I give a rat's. Why should anyone care? But this is the left for you. This is the virtue signaling, symbolism over substance left. That's all they care about. If she could do the job, who gives a crap what her sexual orientation is? You know, I don't care if she's, you know, making it with Venusians on the side. Who cares? I don't care. Doesn't make any difference. But according to the left, we're supposed to. No, not supposed to. According to the left, we must care. We have to care about this stuff. We have to not only care, but we have to revel and celebrate in it, in the progressiveness and the symbolism of it, and the virtue signaling that we are the most enlightened people, and we're certainly more enlightened than you, because we have the courage to hire a lesbian at the Federal Reserve. Who gives a crap? Honestly, if she's you know, good at her job, who cares? But the problem is increasingly, the point that I've been trying to make is this push for diversity hires in government, in academia, and even in the private sector and whatnot. Aren't you supposed to hire the best of the best? Well, maybe this Mary Daly woman is the best of the best, or maybe she isn't. I don't know. Maybe she just fits the suit, so to speak. Okay, the suit du jour. That's what it is. Because it's not, apparently, according to the Fed, I guess, it's not, or maybe it's just coincidental. I don't know. But according to the left, more often than not, the appearance of who you've hired is more important than their qualifications or how they can do the job. It's just completely bass-ackwards, we'll say. And no doubt that these bureaucrats were sitting on their hands chomping at the bit, just waiting to announce to the world that they've hired the first lesbian federal bank chair for the San Francisco. Of course, it's San Francisco Fed. Where else would it be? So we'll take another quick break, and we'll come back with Feinstein's 11th hour Kavanaugh bombshell. Jeez, man. Be right back. Yeah, baby.
You're watching the Common Constitutionalist video podcast.
Okay, welcome back to the Common Constitutionalist weekend video podcast. I am Brent Smith, and I'm the Common Constitutionalist, and I appreciate you watching me. There you go. Enough of the niceties. Let's get back to fun political topics. Yeah. The last one is Feinstein's 11th hour bombshell. Maybe you've heard of this one, maybe you haven't. Don't know. If you're a political weenie like me, you most certainly have heard of it. But that's the bombshell that I'm referring to, obviously, is this letter that Feinstein has accusing Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh of forcing himself on a girl at either a party or something, I don't know what it was, back when he was in high school. And that was almost 40 years ago, all right? So now, after almost 40 years, a woman comes forward and through the grapevine contacts somebody who contacts somebody who contacts somebody who slips Diane Feinstein this letter, and all of a sudden it's supposed to be believable after 40. Heck, the FBI won't even investigate it. But I'll get into that. Well, maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I don't know. Yeah, matter of fact, why not just cover it right now? The FBI won't even investigate it because it's a dead case. It's well beyond the statute of limitations. So they just passed it off to the I think it was Justice Department or something like that. And then somehow this letter came up to Diane Feinstein through a person, and then a congresswoman, and then this and then that, and then Feinstein. So, but surprisingly, at least one NBC, let me repeat that, at least one NBC reporter is criticizing the DIFI. Now, I haven't heard, but I'm sure by now that the reporter John Allen for NBC has probably been fired, and you know, maybe he's missing. I don't know. So anyway, this is from the Daily Caller. NBC reporter John Allen said that Democrats are giving credence to President Donald Trump's claim of a deep state with their new letter containing claims of sexual assault against SCOTUS, Supreme Court of the United States, for those who don't know what SCOTUS means, the acronym, nominee Brett Kavanaugh. California Democrat, they forgot to put honorable. Yeah, dishonorable California Democratic Senator Diane Feinstein said Thursday that she had received a letter containing allegations of sexual misconduct against Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. Feinstein said she forwarded the anonymous claims to authorities. Right, sure she did. NBC's and I guess they did, and then the FBI kicked it right back, said, we're done with this. There's nothing here we can use. So NBC's Allen criticized the way the letter was brought to light on Bill Press's radio show on Friday. Quote, "This is to President Trump's point. There is a deep state feel to this. Anonymous source to a senator through a House member goes to the Justice Department, maybe gets back to the White House, and nobody sees what's in it," unquote, Allen said. Allen also noted that Feinstein has been sitting on, now this is important also. Allen said that Feinstein has been sitting on the letter since July, calling the decision to release it now political. Well, can I get a duh? PhD and duh. of course it is. This is the Kavanaugh October surprise. That's what this is meant to do. You drop this thing in the 11th hour, just before people are making up their mind to vote yay or nay or something like that. And if you don't find a legitimate October surprise, then you make something up, which is, in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, that this is made up out of whole cloth completely. Kavanaugh has absolutely, unequivocally, said that this never happened, no chance, no how, and the guy who was with him, evidently, holding the girl down while he assaulted this woman, said that he didn't recall the incident either. He has no recollection of it either. So, presumption of innocence, hello? And particularly almost 40, it's like 30-something years later or whatever. I think, Kavanaugh, 53 years old, and this happened when he was 17. Yeah, that's 36 years, man. That's long enough. So she waits 36 years to bring this up. Gee, what a coinkydink. Whatever. So the New Yorker reported on Friday morning that the letter contained an accusation that Kavanaugh tried to force himself on a girl while both were in high school. Kavanaugh denies the allegation, as I said, and they hastily put together, the Republicans, I think, unless, of course, they had wind of this back in July when this letter was produced, so to speak. They put together 65 women who knew Kavanaugh in high school and have jumped to his defense in another letter sent to the Senate on Friday, where they said that this isn't Kavanaugh. We know this guy. We've known this guy for years. Some of these women have remained close friends or colleagues or whatnot to Kavanaugh, and they said that there's no way that's not Kavanaugh. This guy's a freaking Boy Scout. So, and I think he probably is. But at any rate, so to end this thing, you know how we try to raise our kids right, all right? So they grow up to be honest, good, decent people, decent citizens. But then we see crap like this literally all the time in politics. And it sucks, and frankly all these politicians and bureaucrats, they suck too. There's no mincing words, there's no two ways about it. They all suck. They're all dirty, rotten, suck. Alright? Almost all of these people, and I'm saying there's a couple that I know, at least I assume, Mike Lee's, Ted Cruz's, those guys, that are stand-up guys, okay? But it seems like the balance of these people, congressmen and senators, all blow. Bureaucrats, upper echelon bureaucrats, they all blow. They're almost all dirty. They're almost all liars. They backstab. They're just backstabbing swines, and will do anything to get and keep their power. That's the bottom line here, and it's obnoxious and it's just unnecessary. And no, it's not just Democrats. It's Republicans. It's all the bureaucrats. It's the NSA. It's the FBI, as we've seen, the upper echelon people, not the scrubs on the bottom, the agents and whatnot. Although probably some of those guys are dirty, lying, backstabbing swines too. The NSA, FBI, CIA, EPA, IRS, you name it. Go down the acronyms, and the whole lot of them are a bunch of scumbags. Everyone, virtually, I would say, conservatively, 75% of all upper echelon bureaucrats in government, whether they be a Republican or Democrat, are swines. Okay? They're backstabbing, dirty, rotten, lying swines. That's the whole lot of them. Because I don't think you can be at government at this level with all the money flowing around and all the temptation and whatnot without being a dirty, rotten swine. Okay, that's just my opinion. And I suppose I'm welcome to it. And now so are you. Okay? But Kavanaugh appears to me to be a pretty good guy. By all appearances, he seems to be a really good and upstanding guy. So there's a couple things about him, decision-wise, that I don't care, and that's about the only thing I care about. It's the same with Trump. Trump, I don't think I would care for him personally. Okay, I don't like the braggadocio. I don't like the bloviating, the tweeting, all the nonsense. I don't like that kind of stuff. But that's just me. But I don't care. I'm willing to discount all of it for policy. because it's been so long since we've had deregulation, tax cuts, a growth of economy, all this good stuff that's happening, why he's bloviating and being blustering and all this other crap. So I don't care about that stuff. Same with Kavanaugh. Give me some good constitutional originalist Supreme Court decisions, and I don't give a rat's if you too are sleeping with your pet porcupine. Doesn't matter to me. So this is the Common Constitutionalist, Brent Smith, signing off for another weekend. God willing and the creek don't rise. Oh, by the way, praying for you people down in the Carolinas. Be safe. You are still nowhere near out of the woods yet, so we're praying for you. At least I am. And y'all have a good balance of the weekend. Talk at you next week. Take care.